How's it going, everyone? It's GadgetsBoy. Welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at Polestar's vision of what's to come, and it's the Polestar Precept. And the name is probably the first time I've heard it used on a car, so it's not a concept in the sense that Polestar sees this as a car that would actually make it into production, and what we're going to see in the final version will be so close to what we're going to see in this video. But like I said, this is Polestar's vision of what's to come in terms of technology, sustainability, and design as well. So let's take a look. Looking around the car itself, you can see how beautiful this car actually looks in terms of design. So we look at the front and see how low the car sits itself, which actually looks fantastic if you ask me. And then on the front, we have various things to talk about actually. So starting with the headlights, we have this Thor's hammer inspired design in terms of those slim profile headlights, which looks fantastic. And it's got a nice splitter between it as well, so it's not fully joined together. So between the top and the bottom, it's kind of just split. But I think it actually adds to the aggressive but yet still sexy look of the car itself. And then we look through the front to the middle center of the car itself, and we can see the smart zone. One thing you notice about Polestar cars, if you've seen the Polestar one, is the way they label different parts of the car. So for example, on the front, you see the little writing that says smart zone. That's because this area replaces the grille, and it's now housing all the safety equipment, all the technology that goes into there for your pilot system, for autonomous driving system. That's all adaptive cruise control system, for example. That's all there, housed there. You can see the camera as well, and all the radar are just nicely housed in this area, which looks pretty neat. I like what they've done with this area. And then if we move up a little bit, just on the bonnet, there's a little gap that goes between this smart zone and where the bonnet is. So this is almost like a front spoiler for the car, which allows the air to actually go through from the floor, from the front of the car, and passes through here and goes all the way over the car, which is some sort of like aerodynamic feature for the car, which allows it to have improved drag coefficient as well. So this is something that's really good, especially when considering this is an electric car. It's going to be an electric car, and to save energy as well, this is going to be helping towards that, which is pretty cool. I like what they've done there. The tech team, the design team have thought about this, and this is a really cool feature on the Polestar Precept. Overall, this car has a nice matte finish, which I quite like the color scheme that they're going on with here. The silver looks really good. And then if we go to the side of the car, you can see the camera in terms of side mirrors. So again, this is nice and futuristic. The whole car looks futuristic itself. Going to the side of the Polestar Precept, we see this nice wide wheel arches on the back. It goes from the front and kind of just goes out, almost like a Coca-Cola bottle. You know how you have it when it goes slim in the middle and just goes wide towards the back. It looks fantastic. And the door handles as well, they sit flush to help with, again, aerodynamic features of the car, and the windows as well. You can see they all kind of sit flush with the body of the car, and that looks amazing. I love what they've done there. Again, it looks like a single profile in terms of a unit of a car, and those wide wheel arches as well on the back. I don't know if that's going to make it like that to the final production vehicle, but this is what we can see in this Precept right now. And then we look on the where the floor is, just below the door. You can see again they've got some nice little writing on there, labeling again for smart zone, again for the side safety equipment. So again, it knows when cars are coming, you know, when things are coming next to you. This is where the radar sits to be able to notice that and alert you and do things accordingly. But what's fantastic about this though, before we go to the back of the car, is you can actually tap this door handle and the door just opens up like a suicide door kind of feature. So it opens wide out. And then if we look at the pillar that holds the back door, for example, it's pretty chunky. But again, I don't know if that's going to make it into the final production of this car. But you can see how this just opens nice and wide, and it gives you loads of space to get in the car. There's plenty of room in this car. Before we dive into that, let's go to the back and see what that looks like as well. We've got some indicator lights on the back frame, which which allows you to see when the car's charging, for example, so that it pulsates kind of thing. So it kind of flashes to let you know when the car's charging, and when it's fully charged, that light will change accordingly as well. But what's very, very noticeable here is the same design language that we've seen on Polestar 1 with that, and also Polestar 2 as well. You know, that long light bar that goes on the back. The tail light looks fantastic as well. Nice slim profile, but it goes all the way, wraps around the back of the car, and the back is probably very big as well. As you can see, I can't tell you what the actual measurements are here, but what they've done as well is it's got a nice panoramic roof up top, but using a camera at the back for the head mirror, it means they can bring the car back as further back as they can in terms of panoramic roof. So because you don't need visually, you don't need to see what's going on behind in that sense, using the head mirror, because you got a camera that replaces that. I hope I'm making sense here, but using that camera there, you'll be able to see what's going on around you, behind you. And also when people sit at the back, you don't have to worry about their height and all that kind of stuff, or even the seat height and stuff, because the camera's doing all the job for you in terms of looking at the back for your head mirror. Going inside of the car though, finally, you can see that this is a huge space. And actually, one thing that's pretty cool is the foot pedals as well. It's got this minus and plus sign on there, which is pretty cool. Just something I'm easily pleased. But I like what they've done there as well. But again, inside the car is absolutely big. You can see the design, what they've gone with is nice and bright as well. You'll be able to hopefully change the color scheme in the car as well, so modify it to suit your taste. But one thing to notice here is the sustainability element of this. I know we've spoken about the technology a little bit and the design, but the third arm of this is actually sustainability, because for example, the seats are 3D printed, so you get one single unit that's been printed out, saving the amount of materials that you'd be cutting away otherwise if you didn't 3D print the whole thing, which is pretty smart. And also the material that's been used for the lighting and stuff like that, this are made from crop products. So again, it's very, very much so sustainable in that sense. And the carpets in there as well. You got materials that's been made from like recovered fishing nets. You got recycled corks in the seat. You've got recycled bottles in there as well. So you got all this recyclable material, recycled materials in the car that makes it really sustainable. And it's probably the most sustainable car that I know about that's potentially coming out. So again, props, big massive props to Polestar for thinking about this and making this happen inside of the car. Elsewhere, we've got the controls on the back seat in the middle, between the people sitting at the back. Again, I don't know if that's going to make it into production, because if you put kids in the back, they might not just messing with it and ruining your experience in the car. But we'll see how that goes in the final production. And also you can see the back seats as well on the headrest. They have speakers built in as well, so that kind of wraps behind your ears, so you can actually get a full immersive experience when it comes to sound quality. Between the back seats as well, you got that Polaris logo just sort of like spinning on the back as well, which is pretty cool. Just nice little extra touches that they add to the car. And you can see that orange seat belts again. They've got a nice writing on it saying, you know, when it was first made, because Volvo were the pioneer when it comes to seat belts and safety inside of cars. And then we go to the front. We've got the center console again for the controls, and we've got that massive display, that infotainment display. Again, this is going to be running Google operating system, so Google Auto, which means everything is already built in terms of things like Google Assistant, you know, all the mapping features and, you know, charging stations, all that stuff. You'll be able to pay for electric if you need to charge your car as well through that system. So we've seen this in the Polestar 2 already, and it works really well, even when it comes to voice commands and hooking this up to, you know, your Google system when it comes to ecosystem. That's already built into that, and it's one of the best I've used in a car myself in terms of voice commands and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing bad to say in this area besides this is fantastic. One thing that's really cool though is it uses a proximity sensor as well. Using a proximity sensor, when you move away from the screen, it doesn't give you a lot of information. It goes minimal, so it's not too jarring into your face. But when you get closer to it to try and press a button, it shows more information, so you'll be able to display. It displays more information, so you'll be able to see what you're actually pressing and what's actually going on, which is pretty cool. Going into that instrument cluster for the driver though, there's not much you can change here, just the regular stuff. But one thing that's really cool here is eye tracking. So with eye tracking, it means when you're looking up, the writers might go smaller, but when you look at it again, it goes bigger, so you can see what's on there. So like your speedometer and ADAS system, you can actually see those information like your music and all that kind of stuff. You'll be able to see that there, which is pretty cool. I think what Polestar's done here is not overdo it in terms of technology and design as well. They've just done it to make sure that it's actually functional and it's exactly what you need when you're driving on the road for safety, as well as entertainment, and actually just enjoying that minimalist experience inside of the car and feeling immersed in your driving experience as well, which is pretty cool. The Polestar Precept is also built on a long wheelbase. So as you can see, this platform here, it just means that you get more space in the car, and it also suggests we're going to see big battery in here for longer range, which is what I'm thinking is going to be happening here. So that's a bonus as well, besides just having that large space inside of the car. on the front again as well, before I forget to mention as well, is the dash area is actually housing the ventilation duct. So again, this is where all your climate stuff is going to be happening. So it's nicely tucked away, so it's not in your face as well. Really nice design. I really like what they've done there as well. So overall, this is Polestar's vision of what's to come. It's a manifesto for what they see the design of their cars going forward, sustainability and technology as well. Actually, did I forget to mention there's also a LiDAR system right at the top of the car, which allows the car to see everything just beyond what radars can actually see. So if you know about LiDAR, you know what that does. And this is actually quite compact as well. It's amazing how far LiDAR systems have come from chunky camera systems to actually having that small, slim thing on the car, on top of the car. Looks amazing. But yes, this is Polestar's manifesto. This is what's to come in terms of car design, and I can't wait to see this car actually hit the road and actually be able to drive it on the road and see what this actually feels like and how much this is going to turn heads. It's going to be insane. But yes, as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Drop them there, and any questions, drop them there as well. I'll do my best to answer your questions. But in the meantime, if this is your first time around here, please do subscribe, smash the like button, and hit that bell notification as well. So every time there's a new car tech video like this uploaded, you get notified. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.